Hey y'all, today I'm going to do a seed haul video, and this might be a little lengthy, but I know several of you had said you wanted to see the seeds, and I've just got my last envelope from Baker Creek, so I wanted to go ahead and show y'all what I've got. Now, I'm not going to show you everything because that would show you how much of a ridiculous issue I have with buying seeds, but also it would be too long. But I have the garden organizer over here that I've been talking about, and I want to show you that. I'll go in depth with that in another video, but a lot of my seeds are already in there that I've organized. So I may do a separate video for that. But this video is going to be about the Baker Creek haul that I got today. A lot of my favorites are here, so I'm going to go over these. And as most of you probably know, if you're familiar with my Facebook page or anything like that, then you know I'm a potager gardener, what I consider a potager gardener. That means I want my garden to be both beautiful and functional. I like beautiful things that you can eat and put on your table. And so I try to keep that in mind when I'm ordering seeds, whether it's the foliage or the blossoms or whatever it is. I like for it to be both beautiful and edible. So the first thing I'll talk about is this squash, the white. I love a scallop squash. Scallop squash is so good. And I like the white ones because they're just really beautiful. They're very bright white in the garden. And so this is one of my favorites. I also like the patty pan. If you are familiar with the patty pan, it's more of like a green and white, yellowish striped one. And then there's a solid yellow one. I have some of that too, but this is one of my favorites. And I'm not going to get into a big discussion about squash bugs. I'll do another video probably about that later. But I grow several of these because of the squash bugs. Just a side note, if you want to grow squash and you don't want to spray any kind of toxic stuff on your garden, grow lots of whatever it is that you want. So if you want squash, then you need to grow lots of squash so that you can enjoy it. But that's another topic. That's another video. My favorite okra to grow I've now settled in on this one. And the reason is they have that 16-inch long pod, so you can pick 2 or 3 and have a meal with your family. That includes okra. But I am notorious for forgetting, or either by the time okra gets in, it's usually like August when it starts coming in really fast. It's super hot. They love it super hot. And I'm notorious for, by that time, August, it's so hot here in South Carolina, and I am just not done with the garden, but I'm kind of over it for a little while. It's too hot. I don't want to be out there. It's just miserable. And so my okra tends to get too tough by the time I go out there and harvest some of it sometimes. I try to go out there, but sometimes I don't. Anyway, okra grows so fast, and this one, if you forget for a day or two, this one is still good up to 16 inches long. And so I love this one because of that. That's why I love it. It tastes like a normal okra. It doesn't have a superb flavor or anything like that. That's the sole reason I like this. It is prolific. It grows a lot of okra for you. And so that's my favorite. I grow several other varieties. I like the burgundy colors. I like there's one that's like a tree, and I do that for a border purpose. But I like several different varieties, and I will grow several different varieties of that okra this year, but that's my favorite. And then another absolute favorite, if I had to pick one thing to grow in the garden and nothing else, it would be this. This is Zucchino rampicante. I'm probably not saying that right, but this has become my favorite thing to grow. Another reason, it grows a lot of fruit. It has a lot of food on it. And throughout the summer into the fall, this zucchini is one of the best tasting zucchinis I've ever had. Not only that, but this fruit gets so big, and if one of them will make an entire meal and then some. Like this is one thing I do freeze and put in the freezer for later. but this is excellent. You do need a lot of room to grow this. So if you want to grow this, you need a fence or an arch or something like that. One plant will vine out and produce so much food that you only need one unless you have tons and tons of room. But I usually only grow one of these and it spreads out and just it goes crazy. Excellent choice if you're looking for something that puts out a lot of food. And it seems to be a little bit resistant, not 100%, but it seems to be a little bit resistant to the squash bugs, which is probably another reason I like it so much. Along that line, this is not from Baker Creek. This is from, posted another link. I can put it in the description too, but the groworganic.com. This is where I got this. This is from Renee's Garden, but the website I got it from was the groworganic.com. But this is another one that seems to be resistant to the squash bugs. Not 100%, but it seems to outlast like your typical yellow squash and all that the squash bugs absolutely decimate. But this one, the Claremore, this is another really good tasting zucchini. If you like zucchini, this one tastes really good. I love zucchini. I love cooking it all different ways. I like zucchini breads. I like frying it up. I like putting it in the stir everything. I love zucchini. So this is a good one. Good sized fruit, but also seems to be a little bit resistant to the squash bugs. That's probably why I have leaned into that. But okay, moving along. This is the one of my favorites too. A good snack in the garden. The Mexican sour jerkin. I don't really know how to say that. But this is prolific. Produces tons and tons of these little tiny. They look like watermelons. They taste like a mix between a cucumber and like a lemon flavor. I love them. Some people don't. So it's you just kind of have to try it and see. But these usually come back every year. So I just bought this to make sure I had some, but usually they come back not as like a perennial, but the seeds overwinter and then they pop back up. Another along the lines with cucumbers. This one became a favorite last year. Last year was the first time, maybe last year or the year before. I can't remember. This became a favorite of mine, the Bait Alpha. The reason it became a favorite of mine is because the skin is not real tough on these. So these make a really good snacking cucumber. I have not pickled these, but it says they're good for pickling, but it's also burpless. So if you have a problem, and I know some people do have a problem with cucumbers making them burp, this is supposed to be burpless. And they have a great shelf life. Superior for slicing. Again, I love to slice these up as a snack, or I eat cucumber sandwiches. I don't know if anybody else does that, but this makes a good one for that. Okay, moving right along. One of the things that I love about Baker Creek is once you spend a certain dollar amount, they send you a free seed packet. It's always a surprise. You can't pick what it is, but this year I got the bok choy. I did grow a little bit of this last year, not enough to really experience it like cooking with it or anything. But I am going to focus on this year. Bok choy is supposed to be really good for you, so I'm going to try that. And then radishes. I like radishes, and I'm a big fan of heat. So I like hot peppers and things that are spicy. So this Japanese wasabi radish, I did grow these last year and loved them. So I'm going to grow more of these this year, and I'm actually going to start these today or tomorrow because these are going to be more for spring. And it's a pretty good size radish at full maturity. Another radish that I love are these French breakfast radishes. They're a good size. They're super easy to grow, and they grow really fast. So if you like radishes. And then on to peppers. I grow tons of peppers, all different kinds. I like to grow weird varieties. And then I also like challenges. I have grown ghost peppers, habaneros. Some of those are harder to grow. I've grown those. Some of the really super hot ones. And I I have several I have some in the organizer, but I'm not going to go there today. But one of my favorites is this Hungarian hot wax pepper. It's like hot banana pepper. These are really hot, and I love them. They have a great flavor. Cayenne peppers. I grow tons of cayenne peppers, and I eat cayenne peppers all summer long. As long as they're growing on the plants out there, I'm eating one well, not just one. I eat them every single day. I love cayenne peppers with everything, every meal. I love cayenne peppers. So I'm definitely growing some of those. I have some other varieties too. This is a new one. I've never grown this one, and I don't even know really how to pronounce that, so I'm not going to try to butcher that. But this one is a sweet red frying pepper from Argentina. It's really tall plants, like 3 feet tall. They produce tons of peppers and up to 12 inches long. So this would be a good one for like stuffed peppers. So that's why I'm getting that. And they're not hot. So they're supposed to be a sweet pepper. I don't really grow sweet peppers. I think when you say pepper, that means hot. So this is a sweet pepper. I've only grown one other variety of sweet, which is the banana pepper, but I'm going to try that this year. And then I love jalapenos. They're one of my favorites. This is one of the only things that I do canning with each year, and that's the jalapenos. I make the candied jalapenos. I love them. And this one is not as hot. So this is a different variety. I've not grown those. Then this one is a new one too, but it's supposed to be really hot, really flavorful. So I'm growing that variety. Then I have a couple other varieties, and then just a regular early jalapeno. This was a free seed packet, and this is a pepper I've never had, but I'm excited to try. So this one is blazing hot, which I love. The hotter the better. And it says it ripens to brilliant orange yellow, which is perfect, a pop of color in the garden. Vicious heat and complex fruity flavor. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. That was a free one. So I'm glad they surprised me with something that I really love. Okay, so this one is something that I just grow for ornamental purposes, and it's really unfortunate because this puts out a lot of fruit. I do give them to my chickens so that it's not wasteful, but I've tried the fruit and I'm just not crazy about the fruit. The sole reason that I grow these is it provides a nice border, almost ivy-like border around my garden during the summer. And I have a fire pit and chairs, and like have friends over, sit around the garden, and we have neighbors who I love. I love our neighbors, but it does add a little bit of privacy, especially when I have people over. So that's the sole purpose of growing these along with the fruit. The fruit is almost cactus-like on the outside. It's very prickly, very hard to pick. And the fruit on the inside, like it's called that jelly melon, it is like a jelly type consistency. I'm not crazy about it, but it produces tons and tons of these things. And they're very pretty. They're yellow. And then I have an orange variety too. On to some tomatoes. These are not the only varieties that I'm growing. I like to grow a lot of different varieties of tomatoes. Tomatoes is probably the one that I grow the most varieties of. And peppers, tomatoes and peppers. This one is a carbon, however you say it, tomato. This is a purple, one of the purple tomatoes. I love purple tomatoes. My favorite is probably the black creme, but I love any of them. I'm not a real big fan of like yellow and orange, which I'm growing some, but as far as taste, but I love the purple tomatoes. So this is a new one. I've not tried to grow it before. I'm growing that this year. Another purple I have, of course, the Cherokee purple. This is a favorite of many, many people and me. And then, of course, the black creme I have those in a different folder. This was a free variety. It's a spoon tomato, and it's a micro-sized mini fruit, maybe the world's tiniest tomato. Fire engine red. bold, tangy tomato flavor. So this is going to be fun in the garden as a little snack too. I like to have little snacks in the garden. This is one that's strictly, I got this for ornamental purposes to add that beautiful orange. I don't know if you can see how orange that is, but it's also, like it's called, an orange accordion. It's got that really unique shape to it. So that's why I got that. Hopefully they'll do well. I don't know if they will, but my motto is try it and see what happens. Motto in life, pretty much. But these are some I've grown before, the yellow pear tomatoes. I really like these as far as the color. They're pretty yellow. The shape is a pear shape, so it's adds a little unique perspective. And then they're prolific. They grow tons and tons of tomatoes. So I can't remember. I grew these maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And it seems like I remember eating a lot of them, so maybe they were a good tasting yellow tomato. Really super excited about these. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Sartre Louise, if I'm saying that right. Beautiful stained glass masterpiece is how it's described. That sold me. And then it says it has a sweet, fruity, and complex flavor with just the right acidity. Tropical sweet with high antioxidant content. It's a large beefsteak fruit. So I really, 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 really hope these do good. And then this is the last one that from this seed haul from the Baker Creek, the black strawberry. I have grown these before. They are really beautiful. Like a little marbled looking, marble blue, scarlet and gold is what it says. And they're pretty tasty too. Like only I Love Lucy. And tasty too. If you watch I Love Lucy, you'll catch that reference. But okay, so moving right along, some of the flower. These are more, this right here is more like the more ornamental stuff for pollinators and just the beautification. If you've seen pictures of my gardener videos, you've seen on the arches I grow the purple hyacinth beans. They're a really pretty foliage, and the purple flowers that grow all over are just beautiful. I grow them primarily for pollinators and just the beautiful ornamental look of them. But this is another one I'm going to add to a pop of color. That's the bean color purple, but the flowers are red. So I thought that would be a nice addition to the garden with these runner beans. And then also my goal this year is to eat more beans. So I'm hoping I have several varieties, not right here, but I have several varieties that I'm going to grow this year, and I'm going to can and eat them because beans are really good for you. This is probably the one I'm most excited about this year. And this is a very rare one. And I'm so glad I was able to snag this. I'm trying to get out of that light. I'm so glad I was able to snag one of these because they're very limited on the availability. This is called the snail vine. It says it's native to Central and South America. This flowering legume, however you say that, I never know how to say that, is singularly unique and eye-catching. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful. Oh, so excited. President Thomas Jefferson, a devoted gardener, called it the most beautiful bean in the world. It produces trusses of gorgeous spiraled flowers that are scented like hyacinth. And I really hope these do well. I'm most excited about growing this year as far as flowers go. And then zinnias. Of course, I love the zinnias and the sunflowers. Anything that is easy to grow, that I don't have to get baby or do a lot to. I love those. I don't want to have to do a lot of amending to the soil and all that. So anything that grows in all conditions, I love. And so zinnias are one of my favorites. They are absolutely beautiful. Zinnias are one of the prettiest flowers in my opinion. I know they're common, but they are so beautiful and they attract so many butterflies. My garden is full of butterflies all summer long because of the zinnias. They're all over the zinnias. all different kinds of butterflies. But this one I'm excited about because it's a unique variety, the polar bear. I don't know that I've seen a solid white one before. So I'm excited about that. It says it's really good for bouquets of flowers. So I'm excited about that. I like to bring flowers in and enjoy them inside as well. Snapdragons. I've never grown snapdragons. I'm trying my hand at that this year. So we'll see. And I've got to put these. These are a tender perennial. So I've got to put these somewhere where they can come back in a nice spot. Now my zinnias come back every year. They're not, I don't think they're necessarily perennials, but they pop up everywhere every year. So this is another variety I'm excited about. Aztec Sunset. And I thought that was just a unique look. I always like pine cones. I got some more somewhere, but these are really good if you're looking for a vining plant, vining flower. These butterfly peas. I grew these. There's a lavender. I have a white one too, and then these blue queens. They're very beautiful. And I didn't think they were going to do very well. I put them out there and they didn't seem to be doing much of anything. And then all of a sudden, I guess, I can't remember if it was late in the summer, they just started going crazy, and they're absolutely beautiful. A beautiful flower. So if you have a fence or something, you want a trellis or something, and you want, these are good for that. Borage is also a really good companion plant to have in there with like your tomatoes and that sort of thing. And they make a good garnish. The blue flowers are beautiful. Hollyhock. I've never grown that. I have grown the borage. I've never grown this hollyhock. So I'm going to try my hand at this year. That's a really pretty flower. Sunflowers. I grow all different kinds of sunflowers. And usually now I don't even have to plant them anymore. They come back. And I never know what they're going to be. I never know which variety it's going to be. So it's always a fun surprise. But this year I want to plant some intentionally. And this is one, the chocolate cherry. I think I saw somebody, a friend of mine may have had these, and I fell in love. And so I think that may have been what sparked me to get those. But that's a really pretty variety. And I have several other ones too. I'll have to look and find them. But milkweed. If you want monarch butterflies in your garden, you need milkweed. I grow milkweed every year. This is a different variety. I usually have like the orange kind. This one's called Hello Yellow. I love monarch butterflies, are my absolute favorite. If you've watched any of my stuff, I love the monarch butterfly. It's been a favorite of mine since childhood. And so I want to attract them. Marigolds. I always grow marigolds. I usually grow the African crackerjack mix, which is a tall variety. They grow up to, well, 5 feet tall, usually around getting up close to my height. I'm 5'11", but they grow very tall and prolific. You have to trim them. You have to just do all the things like that. But this is a new variety. I have not grown this one, but I thought that was a unique take on the marigold. They're a good companion plant as well as the borage. This one, and I keep saying companion planting. I'll do another video talking more about companion planting later. This is one that I'm growing this year for the first time, the bachelor's button. I have grown just the blue ones, but I wanted to focus on 4th of July this year. I wanted to decorate the garden a little bit more for 4th of July, and so I want to put these throughout and hopefully have them by July. If I can time it just right, that's going to be the key. Basil. I love basil, all different kinds of basil. This one is my ultimate favorite. This smells like, I know this is going to sound weird, but it smells like spearmint chewing gum, which smells really good to me. And so this blue spice, I love this. I don't eat this one because I don't really know what to do with it. But what I do with it is I put it in a pot on the stove and simmer it, and my house smells wonderful. It's a really nice smell. And it smells in the garden. If you walk by and brush it, it'll smell really nice. But it has the purple flowers too. This one I grew. This one's not only for ornamental purposes, but this one is for the aroma as well. It says it's an aromatic perennial with phenomenal minty rose fragrance. That's what sold me on this. I hope this does well. I loved things that smell really nice, and hopefully this one will do well. It says it has lavender, rose-colored blooms, irresistible to nectar lovers, and it thrives in poor soils. So that sounds to me like that's going to be easy to grow. Right up my alley. I grow a lot of stuff, so I don't want a lot of things that need a lot of attention. So the asters, I love asters. They are similar, in my opinion, to zinnias. The zinnias and dahlias and asters, I love them. They all are very beautiful. And that's a variety that I got of those. This one I thought would be very beautiful in like arrangements to bring inside. That Celosia Asian Garden. Let's see. Seems like there was something that made me pick this. Good for pollinators. A pollinator magnet. It says it's a total pollinator magnet. And it's also great for cutting and in arrangements. Got that. I thought would add a pretty color. Here's some more zinnias, a little bit different. I thought those were beautiful. So that would be a good addition to the zinnias. This one, I love this flower. It's very particular. If there's anything that I've had a struggle with growing, it's this flower. And out of a whole row of seeds, I only had one that made it into adulthood. And I babied it and just loved on it. And and so, but you can't really tell from that picture, but I have a video of it I can show y'all. But I love that flower. It's beautiful, beautiful flower. So I'm going to focus on that one this year, try to grow more than just one. Here's another basil that's strictly ornamental. I don't know how it will taste, but the foliage on this is beautiful. Will add a nice color, a pop of purple to the garden. So I'm going to add that because it's edible and beautiful, which is kind of what I am looking for. And here's some more runner beans, another one that's got the red flowers. So I thought that would be nice to add that red, but also it has the purple pods, which is always pretty. Purple's pretty in the garden. And is that all? Seems like that's all from this order. So I'm going to end this one here. And yeah, I'm going to end this one here because this one's already 20 minutes long and I don't want to bore y'all to sleep. I'll do another video that I'll show my the garden planner that I got, along with some of my other seeds that I have already organized and put in there. So I just want to say thanks for watching the video, and just make sure if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you'll do that, subscribe to our channel or follow us on Facebook. And I hope this has been helpful going over these seeds. And again, these were all from, except for one, this was all from Baker Creek, and their website is rareseeds.com. And great company, great seed varieties, so you can pick from there. And I just want to encourage you to grow something. If you've been thinking about it, been on the fence, just grow something. You don't have to grow a whole garden full of stuff. Just grow one tomato plant. Grow something this year. And I promise you're going to get addicted to it. You're going to love it. And it's a lot of fun to grow your own food. So until next time, try it and see what happens. See y'all later.